It is a fumble.
And Urbana to the fall on and making it go. Is that Jalen Jones?
20.
It
10,
is.
touchdown.
And here's Urbana. Jalen Jones recovers the fumble for a touchdown, Urbana. And it's Caldwell over the middle to Warren. And Broderick Warren to the end zone for a touchdown, Urbana.
Amazing pass.
Here's Urbana Tigers varsity football coach Nathan Watson. Coach, thank you for doing this interview with us. Yep. We've got a couple of things to talk about. First of all, tell us about some of the key players you've got coming back this year. I understand we've got a few seniors who last year were juniors that made a pretty big impact on the field.
I think there's a lot of good players coming back. I think having 4 out of 5 returning linemen is a key. Obviously, Jamin Carter, who does a lot, plays pretty much every position but line's coming back. Mm-hmm. And then A.J. Fox, our second leading tackler. All of those guys give us a pretty decent nucleus to work with.
Now, Coach, last week at Normal Community, it was a tough loss.
It was a
brutal loss, yeah. How do you rebound from that against an opponent like Centennial? I mean, it's a big game. Everyone's going to be there. How do you rebound?
Well, I think they're in the same boat as us. They played a tough opponent too. They haven't been in the end zone either. They didn't feel success last week. In all honesty, I think we have a little bit of the mental edge. I think our opponent was tougher. I mean, right. That might have been one of the best Big 12 teams I've ever seen. Right. And I've been in the conference since, 2008. They were really, really good. Good thing about that is we saw all our weaknesses, and we got a chance to address them this week. I think the key to Friday's game is for both teams is making something good happen early.
Right. And one more thing, the crowd. I mean, it's going to be a packed house tomorrow night. You got the Illini marching band's going to be here. Crosstown rivalry. I mean, the atmosphere is going to be unlike anything that I've seen, in the past few years.
Sure. At
least, how do you prepare for that?
Well, I think we're excited about it. I mean, we've had some big games, but you're right. It's probably one of the biggest crowds since the playoff game in 2012. I mean, we had the Stars and Stripes and some other games, but this is going to be a huge crowd. Things we're doing to prepare for it, obviously practicing hard. However, the only thing we're really doing different is visualization tonight. Like, we were going to really talk about visualization and thinking about the environment we're going to encounter tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually going to get them here early, and we're going to do a little bit of walkthrough so they kind of get acclimated to the atmosphere before we take the field so they can focus on their job.
Right. And just tell us a little bit about how you'll get that atmosphere. How will you simulate that atmosphere? I mean, because it's going to be a challenge to do that, I would imagine.
I don't think you can simulate it. I think you imagine it. I think that's as close as you can get. They have to use their brains and envision what's going to be there tomorrow and just try and mentally prepare. Like I said, I think the big key, though, is us coming out a little bit early, walking around, just getting used to the atmosphere, and that will help them focus on what they need to do.
All right, Coach, thank you. Best of luck tomorrow night.
My pleasure.